Okay, so in this video I wanted to talk about at the end of the last video I struggled to explain what it's like, what the bliss or nirvana or joy of being is like compared to the highs of identification and desire. And I realised that it's very difficult to put into words, and I'm very conscious about explaining things in a way that aren't going to put people off, because I'll start with the something that could be perceived as negative. So we have to let go, because we're letting go of the self in a way. Anyway, we're letting go of the attachment to all of the positives that are experienced in life by living through the person. By coming to the realization that everything is an attachment. When we become attached to something that's perceived as positive, let's say a relationship, let's say, hopefully we know the difference between the attachment form of relationship. One form becoming attached and dependent on another form, like I talked about an attachment before. These highs come with a liability of an equal degree of suffering to balance things out in a way. Some people might disagree with that, that's fine. This is just my observation. I could be incorrect, but the joyful experiences that we have in life that don't come with the flip side, the negative polarity, the suffering, are transcendent, joyful or loving experiences. So that this can be, so take relationships for example. So I think that you have an attachment that is there as a biological function that's necessary, serves many purposes, but it comes with a high, but it also comes with the low as well, inevitably, pretty much. Behind that, let's say, something that shines through from behind that can be a kind of neutral bliss that I talk about, a joy of existence, a joy of being, and it's always going to be in the moment. So if we think about something or someone that we're attached to, and then think about all the things that make you happy, the things that make you feel positive and uplifted and high, emotionally high, and then consider that one day you're going to lose this person, which is inevitable, or they're going to lose you. Obviously, logically, nothing lasts forever. And what is that feeling that comes up there? The negative polarity of the same thing, the feeling of loss, sorrow, heartbreak, sadness. the constant that's behind those two polarities, the constant that's behind all that. So that is the transcendent, neutral, impartial joy of existence. And it is a kind of, it's not a human emotion particularly. There is no way to describe it, but peace is a good way to describe it. Steady joy, love. I had to think about this and I realised that I really couldn't put it into words at all. Whereas I can easily explain the highs and lows of, say, relationships, emotional love attachment relationships. But this transcends that, and it is impartial. It applies across the board, let's say. It's always there. It's a constant. And the only thing that makes it seem like it's not a constant is the veiling of the obscuring of this by the constructs of the person. It emerges easily in some situations and then not in other situations because it's being covered, it's being veiled by the, let's say, ego, by the self. So yeah, these are the positives. So in contrast to the highs and lows of the person, the emotional turbulence of existing as human in this world, that neutrality can be perceived because a lot of our life is suffering, kind of inherently. A lot of that is perceived as a bliss, a high, another high. Some of that can be the high of the person, kind of like overlapping the emotional thing. And also, which isn't talked about as much in Awakening, is that the low will also be experienced if it's the person that's reacting. So the person has to go through its thing as it comes to bits, basically. Sorry, my neck. Quick. Oh. As it becomes transparent. And what I notice, the most profound effect of this is that the amazement, the wonder, let's say it sounds cheesy, the incredible, fascinating world of form, and the fact that it's just that we're perceiving it and it's here, it's unbelievable. It's so bizarre, so unbelievable, so incredible. All of it, even just through the senses, observing this form, experiencing these emotions, experiencing thought, it's all absolutely incredible. And you could get lost in for days and just observing everything as acutely as you, with as much acute awareness as you can, and it never becomes boring. The person, the self, can get bored, but especially initially after that seeing through of the self and the diving right into the direct experience of just what's here right now, it all appears incredible. And you, even just walking, sitting, breathing, talking to other people, that's where the joy comes from for me. Even experiencing the emotional turbulence and the highs and the lows, there's this new transcendent appreciation that transcends all of the issues of the self, when those issues aren't dense enough to obscure that light shining through. And it doesn't go away, it's not finite, it doesn't come with a low, it's a steady, neutral, incredible joy of this moment. And you can see how we become so identified with this, like when you really look at it, and then you can think to yourself, this is absolutely incredible. Like no wonder we got addicted to this, no wonder we got really lost in it, because it's such a powerful, incredible, brilliant illusion. But then you get lost in it, you become addicted to it, and it takes your awareness of the incredible beauty of this illusion away, and you can't see it anymore, because you've had too many hits, you're relying on it. It's just like the ego's like a drug. It's like weaning yourself off of a drug, and you have the withdrawals, and then your endogenous serotonin or whatever, dopamine comes back, and you're like, oh, I feel good for the first time in ages. That's kind of what it feels like. But it takes a while to break through you'll have little bits where I had little bits where the veiling just went away, and then it would come straight back in really quickly, and it went away, and it would come straight back in. It would be covering all of this, and over time it's kind of like, I talk about expanding out, it's kind of like this, and it moves out and it becomes more ethereal, and then you can see it all, and then it becomes transparent, and then it's still there, but it's just operating on its own, and you see right through it. And your awareness becomes, there's like an extra dimension added to your awareness that was always there, that goes beyond just these physical, psychological limitations. It just expands out. And just watching things, I like to just watch. Incredible. Not thinking about, wow, this is incredible, but just observe just this. And all of the self-seeking, all of the chasing, all of the thought patterns that caused us so much grief before, all of the what if, all of the negative thinking, the positive thinking that was motivated from a negative motivation, you can participate in that again, but there's not you're not lost in it. You can participate in it. It's not like you're getting rid of all this stuff is bad and I must get rid of it. I need to let go of all these positive things in my life because they are attachment I have to give. It's not like that. They're still there. It's all still here. It's just the clear seeing. It's just the seeing through of it. Yeah, but I just wanted to explain that in a little bit more detail. That'll do for now.